We know that GDPR is coming May 2018, and it's important that the UK charity sector starts preparing now. There are big steps that need to be taken to make sure that the data is compliant, so every step can be made to make sure they are ready in May 2018. I don't think there's an expectation that everything needs to be complete by May 2018, but it's a long process and everyone should be thinking about starting right now if they haven't done already.
In preparing for GDPR, I think some of the key solutions that charities have to adopt are to address both the data problem but also the human silo problem. The history has been that with fast growth in some charities, there are separate systems, separate departments managing different functions, for instance fundraising and event management, and it's essential that a data audit is undertaken to find out what data is currently held and how well it's being used. My best piece of advice for charities would be that the chief executive in the current timescale appoints a senior team, multifunctional, multidiscipline, covering IT, marketing, fundraising and event management, and they work together to audit the data they've currently got in the diverse systems, to look at improving the quality of that data, to communicate very quickly with all the donors so they can get express permission to keep communicating. Otherwise, there's a risk to future income streams.
I think that GDPR is such a minefield, and with all the restrictions that are going on behind the scenes and so many other forms of outreach to new supporters, I think it's vital for charities to really optimise on that area, because it's actually where you can get the warm conversion leads in with people that are already engaged with the cause. And also, it's a way of giving or bringing them into the database that doesn't necessarily require them having to give a straightforward gift either, so it's really important. But you do have to be aware that there's still restricted access that you have to make sure that you get with regards to data capture. So still make sure if you use any images that they send to you that you ask permission for that. But also I think you can engage them with things such as competitions and so forth to gain their opt-ins, to consent, to market them going forwards, and so you can engage them through that method. So again, it doesn't have to be anything that's, I think, too intrusive. It can be warm and it can be exciting and fun.
We're making sure that we are compliant ourselves. We're not a charity, but we're making sure that we're compliant as if we were a charity. So when we talk to the charity sector, they know that we've gone through the same pain and the same processes they have. Gives You've created Charity Now to be a place where charities could land to see best practice tips and recommendations on how they can get their best out of their data and get the best out of new methods of fundraising and get the best out of some of their old methods of fundraising. It's a place where charities can land and they can see recommendations, they see good unbiased information on what GDPR actually means for them without all of the scare tactics that are currently being employed. They can read and find out lots of useful information, lots of resources there, but also lots of tips and hints as to how they can get best use out of the data that they've got and how they can fundraise from their existing data in compliant but cost-effective ways.